Hi everyone, welcome back to Beef Reacts, and today we are going to be watching RWBY Volume 8, Chapters 7, 8, 9, and 10. Next two uploads are going to be long ones, I guess, depending on how much I'm going to need to talk about, which I like talking. I am a talker. As my grandfather used to say, does this kid ever shut up? And to which I always replied, no. That's the life. That's the life of the beef sauce man, the beef man, the beefy boy. Who refers to himself in the third person? That's a dumb thing to do. I have rarely slept late recently. Just giving people updates. Mouth dry, life going on. Let's jump into it. RWBY's doing its thing. I'm doing my thing with RWBY. Sounded wrong the way that came out, but here we are. We're back to being a family-friendly channel. I still don't know what our arc is, but we'll figure it out later. I really love the four-leaf clover motif for here. Works very well. That's what most... Alright, fuck it. Okay. I think it's a weird thing to say, a childish dream to change the world. It's like, all dreams to change the world inherently are childish, to assume that you could change the world on some grand scale. But like, I used to like think about it a lot when I was younger, because I was by myself most of the time. And the one thing I always like to do is, like, I used to think like I really wanted to change the world, and then when I was like 9 or something, I thought like, wow, changing the world seems impossible. So I don't think you can actually change the entire world, but you can like change the world for like one person at a time. And like, that's what you should try to like aim and strive to do. And I don't know. I always thought it made sense, but then again, I was 9 when I thought it, and I never really went back to the thought, because imagine going back to the age of 9 and then taking your thoughts on a serious, a serious scale, and being like weighing them objectively, being like, was this a good idea? Did I have some of that brain gravy going down? Like, was I a wise 9-year-old? And then the answer is simply no. You were as stupid as everyone else eating paint. I didn't eat paint. I'm just saying that, like, you know, what if it tastes good? I did get into a scissor fight with a kid, but I used actual scissors, and I have like a scar in my thumb. Also, the way that they take the all the animation out, except for the like that ray tracing of it, is so freaking beautiful. Like, it gives that eerie feeling. Are we getting another Oscar? They have put more time and more effort into making this look realistic in these two shots than probably most of the season. I am not saying that to be a jerk. I am not saying that to be rude. I am saying it because if you actually, I know you can't see it on here, but if you look at just the way the grass seems, if you look at what's going on, the shading on them, like if you look at the shading on them, it's so vastly different So I'm going to guess whatever budget they had for at least this episode is going to be insanely important for this season. And after this episode is insanely important for this season, the next one is probably also going to be. They have probably saved the budget for this, like, this war part here. Yeah, we're gonna need Ruby Rose to hit. Not the apathy! Oh, jeez.
Yes, sir?
I am evacuating all citizens to the subway. Prepare Mantis Squad Omega and dispatch to every part of Atlas.
But, sir...
Now!
Citizens of Atlas, please proceed to the nearest underground subway stations for shelter.
Oh my god. You know what? I'll be honest. I'd be that booty hole that would just be like, nah, I don't really feel like it. I don't think it's gonna be that bad, and I'd be dead. I'd be dead. I wouldn't be a part of any of this. Actually, that's a lie. I wouldn't live in Atlas. I'd probably live in Vacuo. Like, I'd probably live in Vacuo. Why can't I say names well? I wouldn't live in Mistral, because if I lived in Mistral, I'd have to pronounce it Mistral. And you know what? I'll put the shade down. I know how to say the words sometimes. I'm just stupid and forget. But like, you're expecting me. I don't know. Like, this seems. The shading of this episode, everything looks like it's in a golden hour. And I know this season takes place over 2 days. Thank you everyone for letting me know about like the time frame, because I did not know last season about the like season 6 episodes 8 through the end, and season 7 episodes 1 through 3 were all the same day, because I don't know why they would be, but I was not expecting that.
Dad? Look!
Hey, run!
We need to go!
Yeah, homie, you're experiencing war. Run.
Back up, sir. The generators took too much damage. Then don't waste resources on them. Beta Squad, the creature.
We tried bombs, missiles, but we can't make a dent, sir.
Sir, Shni here. Penny is still MIA, but we've apprehended Ark, Xiaolong, and Ren.
Stand by for further orders, and don't let those fugitives out of your sight.
Yes, sir. Of course.
Still just following orders.
I love how we keep on going at this, like, this idea of, oh, you're just following orders. I'm just following orders. Isn't there the possibility that they have the same morality that you do, but they're just making a different decision than you are? That's possible. That exists. That's why human choice is like one of the most powerful things in existence. That's the reason why I can say I care about people, and you can say you care about people, but the way I care about people is I want to be an entertainer, and you want to be a doctor. You want to be a lawyer. You want to be a frickin' mother or something, or a father, or whatever. Who cares? Like, oh, just following orders now. You're just upset, Yang, because you're currently the fugitive, but at the end of the day, it's not about whether or not it's like subjective. The like, I may personally believe that there are certain objective like things to morality. There may be certain objective cases. I will be the first one to say that I don't exactly know what those are, but just because I don't know something doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. I don't really understand what quantum physics are, but I'm pretty sure people that are smarter than me probably know they exist. I'm pretty sure I don't really understand a lot of ethics, but I'm pretty sure philosophers that have been debating and talking about and going through it for the last not umpteen, but 10,000 years, I'm sure they may know a thing or two that I don't. Because people stand on the shoulders of giants and spout down like the giants were stupid, like they're not standing on their work. Like it's fascinating to me how people can do that all the time. But like what frustrates me here is that you're trying to create a Nuremberg defense where you're calling back to, because that's really ultimately what it comes down to. I watched Thank You for Smoking last night, by the way. I think I must have watched like the extended or director's edition, because there was a lot in there that I did not remember when I watched it the first time. Because when I watched it the first time, I watched it 4 times because I really enjoyed it. I even read the book. But like in the movie, it brings up this idea where it's like most people, like in the book and the movie, it says like 99% of people do it for the mortgage. They just do whatever they're doing for the mortgage, and that's how he's able to sleep at night, defending the smoke lobby, the tobacco industry, basically. And like I hear that and I understand that as a thought process and as something that exists. What I find frustrating here is that Yang keeps on saying that, like, objectively, what these people, like, is Ironwoods being moral while doing this? Yes. Like, not yes, sorry. Is he being moral in terms of what he's doing? No. Are the people following his orders necessarily being amoral? No. Like, you're just following orders from a tyrant. It's like, yeah, I don't really blame the guy who got Adolf his coffee every day. Like, he was a tyrant. It's like, yeah, but my job was to get him his coffee. My job wasn't to pull the trigger on people. Like, I was just supposed to get coffee. And, like, honestly, at the end of the day, if you gotta get coffee, you gotta get coffee. Like, you make the best of whatever situation you're in. And, like, even if you want to sit here and be like, these people, like, Yang and their friends are, like, it's a bogus claim. It's kind of like the Panama Papers and how that works with, like, freedom of the press, or technically, if you wanted to go into, like, certain aspects, there are things that, here. We genuinely believe in freedom of the press, or not genuinely, but, like, we like to hold an ideal that there should be a freedom of the press. Okay, with it. There's a war going on. The press has information about whatever, and people are going to get hurt. They release the information. It ruins the operation. You have now caused more lives to be lost because of what you did and what information you released, because you released information that should not have been released. And because that's something that has happened. And that's why, like, when journalists go into like wars and stuff, generals, people in the military are like, no, you could say this, you cannot say this, because this is something that people can know. This is privy to an operation, and, like, I don't know an insane amount about that. It's just, that's what we went over in, like, school during, like, history of broadcasting and stuff like that, because, like, things changed a lot after Vietnam. Not that I'm sure you don't care, and I'm sure this is just, like, a random rant to you, but, like, I find it a little frustrating that Yang keeps on saying this phrase. You're like just pissily saying, no, you're just following orders. It's like, okay, so the alternative is to not follow the orders of the guy we just watched murder somebody and who is on the brink of collapse, somebody we trust, somebody we care about. If RWBY walked up to somebody and domed them, I'm gonna be honest, Yang, I do not think that you or the rest of Team RWBY have the moral character to really be like, no! Like, you would give RWBY the benefit of the doubt the same way they're giving their general the benefit of the doubt. The difference here is that she and they have known you. Like, the only one here that Winter honestly is betraying maybe is Weiss with these orders, but she's not actively looking for Weiss. Like, you're expecting people that have known you for like 7 months to trust you more than than the general. Like, that doesn't make sense. You're just following orders. I hate when she says it. I think it is such a stupid motif, specifically for the way it's being presented. They have not been presented with orders that are completely amoral yet, that they need to follow or not follow. They have only been presented ideas where it's like, the person we're following is not mentally stable and not being a good person right now. But as I always say with Alma Coin, Salem's going to kill everyone. He's trying to save he's trying to save Atlas. Why don't we stop the massive threat that is Salem? And then after Salem's stopped, why don't we go and maybe deal with Ironwood? Why don't we possibly dethrone him, put him in prison after the threat is handled? I feel like that's the smart move here. Call me a user, call me an abuser, call me whatever you want, but when it comes down to it, I want General Ironwood's commanding the army to do what needs to be done, and then the second it's over, I want to put 2 through the back of his skull. That is how it's done. It'll be done of mice and men style, and that's it.
Yes, sir. Of course. Still just following orders.
Shut the Like, it's...
That's where the Grimm took Oscar. It's even bigger than I thought.
Grimm don't take prisoners.
This one did. If you would just let us go.
Ceasefire. Manta squads.
Alright, I will say them not listening is actually very stupid on their part, because if they were to listen, they know that these are capable hunters and huntresses. This is the only thing I will give Yang credit for. They should be listening.
This one did. If you would just let us go.
Ceasefire. Manta squads. Concentrate on secondary hostiles. Command is working on a solution for the creature.
What do you have in mind, sir?
We aren't making any progress attacking the thing from the outside. But from the inside, it could be vulnerable. Science team is putting together a bomb. When it's ready, we'll drop it off as close to the target as possible. Then your team will deliver it on foot. Sending you rendezvous coordinates now.
Of course, sir. We will hold the point and we will get it done.
He's going to sacrifice them to kill the beast. I already know it. And this is where it's going to be the moral dilemma that they're not going to be able to face, because now their lives are the ones that are on the line. Because he's going to make the crucial mistake of betraying the people that trust him most because he thinks that they want the same mission he does. But the only difference between them and him is that he, personally, will not do it himself. He will if need be. He will do it. If they fail, he will do it himself. But if that doesn't happen, he will gladly sacrifice these people.
But Oscar's in there.
You can't do this!
She's gotten very good at that.
That stunt you pulled, she'd have killed you if you didn't just pop up somewhere else. Still,
You can make things easier on yourself if you start telling the truth.
You've never wondered why she recruited you. You, specifically, to help her find the relics.
We share a vision. She's gonna create a new world order. No kingdoms. And no Huntsman Academies.
New world order. No. When Salem gets all 4 relics, there will be no worlds left at all. Don't you get it? She's been alive longer than you can comprehend. All she craves now is release. Death.
Stop lying! Salem can't be killed. When she came for me, I killed her over and over again. The longest she was gone was only a few hours. Before she put herself back together. When I couldn't lift my arms anymore, she showed me that through her, I could have the vengeance I needed.
I will say, out of all these people, respect to Hazel. I don't like Hazel. I don't think he's right in this, but respect to Hazel. And if you could stop her for a few hours, why can't you just contain her? Like, why don't we just do what we do with, like, uranium rods that are super radioactive? Just put her in, like, 8 inches of lead and just put her at the bottom of the earth or something. Kind of do, like, an Everlost situation.
Hazel, don't you see that is why she came for you? Because she could make you believe that this is what you needed?
This is what you deserve!
Yes! But Oscar, the people of Atlas, Remnant, you haven't done what you've done for justice. You've done it for yourself. Because she pushed you to think it would help you. Well, has it?
Not Emerald listening through the wall, hearing Hazel turd, and going to tell Salem. I hate Emerald. Oh damn, I actually have time to like watch the show.
What am I good for?
A lot of things, Nora. You just saved everyone.
How is she?
I've done what I can, but she needs a doctor.
Hopefully May's able to reach the others. I really hope they're okay. Salem's monster is making Grimm faster than the Atlas military can kill them. The city won't stand a chance unless we stop it.
It's massive. Way bigger than a Leviathan. What can we even do?
Penny launched Amity, and our message went out. Do we just wait for someone to come?
That's
if
no.
they even come.
Not gonna be able to wait, but I do want to bring up a very big distinction right now. While Blake and Yang are apart, I like how Blake, when she says, I hope everyone is okay, yeah, I have a feeling that she really, really means Yang. But I'm gonna say it. I think she genuinely hopes everyone's okay. I think Yang doesn't really care about anyone else in this group except Blake. And not a fan of that, personally. Like, yeah, she cares about her sister Ruby, but, like, I don't think she does. Like, I think she genuinely is in, like, a honeymoon phase if that's what they're doing here. And I'm not even gonna sit down and be like, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, I love Bumblebee for that. Like, don't crucify me over that. Like, literally my point has always been, like, the time dedicated to Bumblebee has not been real. It has been very much a situation where it exists, it happens, and, like, there are moments, and I will never deny that there are moments. It's less of the moments, it's more of what was the lead up to the moments. Like, if I'm talking about stories where people end up getting together, and it's like The Office, and it's like, it's not the kiss at the end of season 2 that makes you really like Jim and Pam as a couple. It's the very intricate, small moments they have together that we see in the background that do not really matter. Every single time we see something between those two, it's very there. It's just there. It's not like it's there, and it's normally the highlight. It's not the background type thing. Where if I'm watching Toradora, which is literally a love story, the moments that I love aren't the moments of Taiga being over Ryuji's body, screaming Ryuji is mine, or crying at the end. The reason those moments work so damn well is because when they're on vacation together and sitting right next to each other in a massive room, and you hear her say, like, why is it that even in a room this big, the only place I want to be is next to you? Like, it's that moment that matters. And, like, I think when it comes to romantic storytelling, like, you need to have those moments to make the other moments pay off. And, like, a lot of the shipping in this show, besides Ren and Nora, because theirs, like, is currently official, like, Ren and Nora have had so many moments like that together. The little asides, the little things, the, like, they still suffer from, like, not really having it, but having it. But ultimately speaking, it's had more subtlety to it. And I think that's, like, kind of sad, because this could be a really great love story, and I want it to be. I really want Bumblebee to be a good love story if it happens, and it looks like that's what they're setting up. But, like, if they're gonna set it up, like, set it up, I don't want to say differently, but, like, I haven't given it enough thought to why it doesn't sit right with me. And, like, I don't know if I will. Like, I don't know if I'll be able to find the actual right words, because I don't think I'm capable of doing that. From a writing perspective, from just a humanity perspective, like, I don't know if I'm capable of doing it. It's just one of those things where I never want to say something feels forced, because I don't think necessarily Bumblebee is forced, because they have had those moments, but those moments are always in the, not forefront, but it's like, it's not the subtle dialogue. It's not the tone. Like, there's just something about the way it's currently coming together where it's not, it's not coming together in a way where all the pieces are cohesively fitting together like a puzzle. It's like there's one piece, and I don't know what that piece is, and it's missing. So I can't see the entire picture, but I have like 90% of it. And, like, that's the thing that I think can be difficult here, because you need 100% of the picture, and we don't have it yet. And I'm hoping, like, that's why I wanted more time with them apart. And, like, both of their arcs, like, Blake had a legitimate arc, Yang had a legitimate arc, but, like, their arcs really weren't explored. They were just kind of happening. And that's, like, what really stinks about, I think, volumes 4 and 5 with this show, is that things for Blake and things with Yang just kind of happened. Like, they were good, but they just kind of happened.
How did it all get like this?
Well, I mean,
Fiona said your friends haven't been heard from in a while. Unfortunately, the last thing they're worried about is a couple of kids. Come on, I've got the ship ready to head back in.
What? We can't leave.
It's chaos at the crater. Atlas has its army, but Mantle only has us. People are dying.
People are dying here, too. Don't you have family in Atlas?
No. Mantle needed me. And to the Marigolds, that meant I wasn't their son anymore. And I made sure that everyone knew that I wasn't their daughter.
Ooh.
So forget them. They've got Henry, yours have Whitley. You get what I'm saying.
All right. We got transphobia in Atlas. I'm not going to say respect, because transphobia is disgusting, but all right. That is a horrible, horrible thing, and I'm happy she was able to find the acceptance she wanted and needed. She deserved that. And to her parents, scumbag, POSs that honestly don't deserve a damn thing.
I don't know about.
Which side are you on, anyway?
What do you mean, which side? She's on the side of
Heard that before.
protecting people.
There are no sides. We want to help everyone. We're all facing Salem together. And together is the only way we're going to get out of it.
So how exactly do we get out of it?
We don't know.
So long as this world turns, you shall walk its face. That was the curse cast upon her. But if Salem can divide humanity beyond repair, and bring all 4 relics back together, she believes that maybe their curse will be broken. The gods will rule against us, and destroy Remnant, once and for all.
Nice story. But if
Well, I do like, you know what? I'm happy that Oz trusts Hazel enough to tell him this story. That's very nice of him to trust, good old Hazel with this story, and not Crow, And you know what? I think Hazel was privy to this information.
if Gretchen's death taught me one thing, it was never to trust you.
Please, let me.
But Oscar...
You want him to trust us, and trust me. Her name is Jin.
Huh?
You want her to come out of the lamp? Just say her name. She can still answer one more question.
After all that, you're just going to give Salem the password?
No. I'm giving you the password. And hoping you'll find the truth for yourself.
He's a prisoner, Am. He'll say what he thinks will get him out.
So you're still going to Vacuo? After what I just told you?
Those are Salem's new orders. And I know better than to disobey Salem.
But...
Damn.
Even if what he said was true, we can't stop Salem. You told me yourself. Hazel tried. He failed, and he got in line. Big guy's not gonna pick fights he can't win. Neither should we. And all of this is pointless anyway. Salem's
She definitely
not
got a
ending
boob
the
job.
world.
Of course she is. You're surprised? Salem is destruction incarnate. Our mistress wishes to see the end of it all. There is no ideal more beautiful. If you couldn't see that from the start, you must be out of your mind.
No, that makes sense. Yeah, I would expect Tyrion to know all of this.
You and I have a date with the desert.
So she just stops the Grimm from attacking them? Damn. Respect.
You can't blow it up with Oscar still in there.
That creature causes more damage every minute. We cannot wait.
Please, Winter, give us a chance to try to rescue him first. We could be your test run. You don't know what'll be waiting for you inside, right? So we can go ahead to check it out. And look for Oscar while we're inside.
You want to go inside that thing alone?
Wouldn't you do it for Elm? Harriet? Vine?
No. We're not friends. We are...
Don't let feelings get in the way of making the right call. Trading 3 lives for 1 is stupid.
No, it's not. He's our friend. We will do whatever it takes to find him. Because we care about him.
I really had you pegged as the most level-headed of the bunch. But I guess you're just as naive. Feelings don't matter. The job matters. When you lose someone on your team, you move on. Replace them. Like Marrow replaced Tortuga, and Winter replaced...
No! No one is replaceable.
Well, I mean... Do you mean... technically speaking, I would argue that people are replaceable a little bit. Not in terms of, like, value. Your intrinsic value is not replaceable. Your essence isn't replaceable. But, like, if I need a mechanic and, like, Joe Schmo dies, yeah, he's replaceable. Because I have another, I need to get my car fixed. Like, it's interesting, the ethics here, because it's like they're talking about from a job perspective of, like, yeah, my leader is replaceable. Yeah, like, the role, the person, like, the role the person fills is always replaceable. The person who filled that role, honestly, at the end of the day, is not replaceable per se, but, like, if a job gets done and you absolutely and critically need to get this job done, then technically speaking, yeah, that person is replaceable. That's a horrible thing to say, but that is just the reality. You probably, depending on what you do, are replaceable at what you do. You as a person who lives and breathes is never replaceable. That's not a replaceable thing. That's life. Like you deserve that value. You deserve to be given that value.
You don't really believe that. You are furious about losing Clover. And you miss him.
You don't know anything about...
Oh, he evolved his semblance where he could see people's emotions now.
That's why you lost against Team RWBY. You try to fight how you feel about each other, so you'll never truly work as a team.
Shut up! You don't know what you're talking about! Everyone calm down.
Fine. We will drop you as close as we can to the monster.
You can't be serious. They're fugitives and traitors.
I outrank you.
Damn! Damn! Just pulled the I outrank you. It's kind of like Tony Stark showing up at a Walmart saying, I know more than you. And continues to... Alright, that wasn't Tony Stark. That was Ron Swanson. I am so bad at remembering things in television, movies, and just everything in general.
If you aren't out in time, we drop the payload. No matter what.
Load.
We understand.
Yo, Big Boy John? They've put so much into these episodes, shading and stuff. It is beautiful.
In fact, you don't want to be a part of it at all anymore.
I have a job to do, and I'm going to do it.
I know you don't either.
I love how, like, we're putting all this... Okay. I genuinely think emotions are a very important thing, and I think you should always have emotions and be an emotional person, because emotions are valuable. But, like, sometimes you have to put them aside. Like, right now, you don't want to be a part of this anymore. Yeah, I think it's a little too late for that. Considering the massive thing, I think it's a little too late for this conversation. We can, like literally all 5 of them can deal with this after we see whether or not we live past the weekend. You know? Like, I just, right? Like, what? Let's just wait, just a little bit.
Crow and Robin. Well, maybe if we get them out of wherever they're being held, they could...
No, see, you just don't get it. This is not a situation where everyone wins. Now you all can come with me to help in Mantle, or I can drop you off near the front lines if you still want to help Atlas. Your uncle and Robin can't save us. We have to choose. So choose.
Just choose the third option. Like, it's a false dichotomy. There aren't 2 options. There's also the third option of do nothing.
Miss Schnee, I heard there was a patient here who needed my help.
I am so sorry, Klein. It's my fault that Father...
Please don't worry, my snowflake. It had nothing to do with you.
And everything to do with Jacques.
Well, that's sweet of you. But wait, how did you know?
Ah, young Whitley, I'm so glad that you rang. May
Finally!
I please see the patient? I understand it's urgent.
Yes, she's in Weiss's room. Just go up there.
I haven't been gone that long, Master Whitley. I believe I can find it.
You called Klein.
That girl needs a doctor. I didn't do it for you.
I know. That's why it means so much to me.
Okay, Whitley. Wasn't expecting the Whitley redemption, but I'm with it. I'm so with it. God, I'm with that. I love it. I love it when characters get redeemed. Ah, Jesus. No.
I'm sorry.
No, none of that plot contrivance, none of that. That's some ridiculousness. Come on now with that boo spit. That's some old boo spit, you know what I mean? Like, I'll say it. There's no reason that Penny should have landed there. There really is no reason Penny should have landed in front of them. I think, honestly, in terms of this season, that is the worst writing choice that they have made. I think they had to make it because they wrote themselves into a hole with that beautiful Where's Penny thing 2 episodes ago, but like you can't just do that. You can't just be like have her land in front of them with no reason of why she landed in front of them. I don't think that was very smart on their end, but that's just me. But either way, whoops. I'll be back in less than a second. I just have to check something out. Well, have you ever met my friend Cosmo? She's the biggest bitch quick in the whole wide world. On Monday, she's a bitch quick. On Tuesday, she's a bitch quick. On Wednesday, Thursday, she's a bitch quick. Dude, I just love South Park. I wish... I really don't, like, obsess over celebrities, but honestly, if I can meet one person in this world, I want to meet Trey Parker. The work ethic, the drive, the ability to change comedy the way that he has. Like, I would genuinely love to sit down, interview, or just have a conversation with Trey Parker. I think he is just awesome. I love the Book of Mormon. I love Cannibal the Musical. I love Team America. Like, I love South Park. Not as much currently, but like, I just love the ability to look at everything from the absurdity to the serious, and at the end have such a strong moral code. And like, people talk about South Park in such like a weird way. I don't know why I'm talking about this right now, but like, I just thought about it. South Park is a genuinely very morally like rigid show while also being absurd and cartoonish in a lot of ways. But like, if you actually listen to the Today I Learned Something at the end of the episodes, they're honestly usually on point and they stay with a thematic purpose. And like, I love how it's written like a children's show but for adults, and that's what I think is so funny about it. Like, it's so cool to me how they just have done it, and they've done it so damn well. Like, damn. Like, I wish I could be... I just wish I could meet them. Even Matt, like, not just Trey Parker, but Trey Parker and Matt Stone, I would love to meet. Big basketball fan. Basketball. I haven't seen Orgasmo, though. I do want to see that. I didn't start midway through the episode again. I'm being a dummy today. I know we all like it, but I have to do a debate thing today at like 1 o'clock. 2 o'clock, and it is currently 11:30, and I am not done recording. So I'm speedrunning. Well, not speedrunning, but probably would help if I didn't talk for 15 to 20 minutes per episode. The Grim supply seems endless, but we know it ain't.
Well, that was harrowing.
We're not in the clear yet.
They didn't show us getting in there. Did I miss it? I had to have missed it, right? No. No, I didn't miss it. We just didn't show it. You guys didn't have a way for them to get inside the mouth, so you just cut there, so that way it makes it easier for everyone. Bad writing, I will say it. Not good writing. Actually kind of very, very piss poor. I understand why they did it, but I'll call it when I see it. And I'm sure the people who wrote this would be like, yeah, we didn't really know how to get them inside there, so it's just assumed.
That was harrowing.
We're not in the clear yet. We still have to search this whole thing and find Oscar before the Aesops blow us to pieces.
How are we supposed to find Oscar? It's going to be like finding a needle in a giant whale. Why did we think this was a good idea?
Pinocchio inside of the giant whale. I don't know how Penny's going to end up here, because she's inside of a giant whale. They're inside of a giant whale. Unless they're doing a Jonah and the whale thing, and Oscar's going to be here for 3 days and come out a changed man and go and be the prophet he needs to be, but I doubt that.
I might be able to help. I can sense spikes of people's emotions, I think. It happened on Winter's ship. If I focus my aura, I can keep it up.
Okay, that's new. Maybe one of them is Oscar?
I can sort of tell where they are, but not who. They're more or less in the same area, though. Further in. I can lead.
Hey, you don't have to drain yourself. I can help too.
Yeah, good thinking. Thanks.
Well, lead the way.
Let's go, John! Dude, the way that he's so ready to go and help people. This John love arc has been great for me.
For nothing hurt worse than the loneliness in her chest.
I recognize that. The girl who fell through the world.
I shouldn't be surprised you're so familiar with fairy tales.
I've lived through my share of them. How are you holding up?
I thought the idea of falling through Remnant into a new world was exciting.
Alice in Wonderland?
I never understood why she was so sad when she finally made it back home. But now, it makes more sense.
She wasn't the same girl anymore.
Yeah.
I think this plan to divide might have run its course. It's time we start thinking about a way out. Not having Arcane certainly limits the options, so...
No. I don't like what happens when we use magic. Every time we use it, I can feel us merging faster. I'm not ready for that.
I don't blame you. Honestly, I think you're doing just fine on your own.
Honestly, it feels like Oz doesn't really want to merge either, so, like, I'm fine with that. I am actually very happy with that idea of, like, Oz, like, feeling the sympathy and knowing that what he's been forced to do with people is not right. Like, him lying, whatever, but him at least keeping this sympathy and doing this for, like, other people, I do like. I think it's cute.
Listen up, everyone. We're keeping this LZ clear for the payload. We're going to put aboard that thing. If we can't hold this line, it will continue to spit out Grim and we lose the city. Is that understood?
You know what I just thought about? He's the Wizard of Oz, and the Wizard of Oz canonically is a massive liar who can't do anything and, like, has already given people, like, didn't need to be the one to give them anything. He, like, damn it. We should have known Oz was a massive liar from the beginning just based on the illusion.
Yes, ma'am!
Not Team
You
Funky.
wouldn't happen to know a tune for this, huh?
I don't know that anybody does.
Another wave incoming. Keep them back.
Move, move, move! But they're just kids.
You can hash out your issues later. Right now, just kill Grim.
Yeah, they are just kids. And we've been training them to fight in a war. It's like taking the ROTC kids on the front lines. It's not right, but I mean, that's what they want.
Why did you bring me here?
I've been thinking about what you said. If it's a lie, and I took that lie to Salem, the punishment would fall on my head before yours. If what you said is true, and I use the password myself, well, I don't know what happens when this thing activates. So let's see if you're bluffing.
You want me to summon her?
Either way, it'll tell me what I need to know.
What are you doing?
Let's find out.
But Jin said last time that she won't come out of the lamp and not be asked a question. That's not fair. That's not fair. So they're gonna waste this question. I swear they're gonna waste this question or ask something that does not matter. Because why would they ask anything that matters? You have 2 questions again. But I thought it was every 100 years. Nah, I lied. It's actually like 100 days or something.
Why, hello again, old man. Did you have a question?
Excuse me. I'm letting that dog out. I'm letting that dog in me out. I don't mean to bark. I don't mean to be crude, but
For me.
you know what the worst part is that no one knows that this is an inside joke between me and my friends whenever we watch anime, and there's clearly somebody who's supposed to be over like fan service, and we all just start barking like dogs, for no reason. And there's a reason, but I think it's hilarious. So,
Actually, I think all my questions are answered now.
What are you going to do?
What Gretchen would have done.
I'm gonna Faberlast her. Is it possible to Faberlast you? Nah. Damn it. That's why there was 3. I figured it out. I have my headcanon now. The reason why there was 2 questions left who asked the original question, it was somebody who saw or heard what Jin looked like and then was like, listen, is it possible? Can we do it? And how often? And Jin was like, sure, why not? That's what I... Headcanon. Am I disgusting? Yes. Should you look up to me? Never. Never look up to me. I am not someone to look up to. I'm someone to look down on most of the time. So that's fine.
And that starts with getting you away from here. Both of you.
I'm going to need something before I go.
So, just to be clear, none of you have a question for me?
No, but we'll be bringing you with us.
The moment we move that thing, this place goes on high alert. Better to get you out first.
But...
I'll come back for it. Not like she knows the password anyway.
But can't they just go into her head? Not Neo. Neo, you chaotic person, you.
Sorry. It's not your fault. I'm masking and tracking at the same time.
Do you guys need a minute?
We don't know how much longer we have. Why don't you give masking a break? Give me directions and I can scout ahead.
Thanks. We should be heading straight for a while.
Well, at least you guys being friends again takes the sting out of impending doom.
It's okay to be afraid, you know. You don't always have to hide it with a joke.
Glad I'm not the only one who's scared.
Of course I'm scared. Him, on the other hand, there's no fear at all. I can see it. He believes we're going to get this done.
Then I do too.
That's the one thing about John you gotta love.
Yeah, mask is right.
sure he'll be okay on his own?
I don't know. We just need to get... Wait.
Ah, Hazel. Have you gotten what we need yet? The Seers. Seems we have guests. The lamp. Find them.
Not Salem.
What now?
Let's do what we do best. Charge blindly into danger.
Would have gone with keep moving forward, but sure.
Not the keep moving forward, but I'm with that. I'm with that so much.
Ren?
Forward. No matter what.
That's great. They see Salem. Backwards! Let's go backwards! I'd laugh at that.
Stay! How much longer for the payload?
It's approaching the LZ now.
Come on, Juan.
Did they just call him Juan? What? Is his name Juan? John? Jean? Hey, Jean? Why'd they name him French? That's supposed to be Joan of Arc.
No, wait! Stop!
Oscar!
I knew I sensed some weak minds nearby.
What's going on here?
It's a long story.
You're gonna have to try and summarize it. Why should we trust you?
Because she's clearly trying to get Oscar out. That's why. I feel like this is a very... Dumb question. I hate when people ask stupid questions. In real life and in fiction. You know, Oscar has a crater in his chest practically, but he gave you a hug, so she's not being hostile. You're chilling.
Have to try and summarize it. Why should we trust you?
Because she's scared. Just like us.
Or maybe because I know how to get out of here. Anybody coming?
I mean, later if you ask me nicely, but right now, I mean, we're in the middle of a giant whale.
This is it, everyone.
Dude, it's like I know I'm trying to be family friendly, but when you set me up like that, what am I supposed to do? All right, I'm 23, I'm crude, I'm not a family friendly person, I am just a person, damn it. And you expect me to sit here and not do an easy slam dunk like that?
There's a path to that monster. We get the payload aboard, set the timer, and then we're out.
But they might still be alive in there.
I gave them their window. We can't wait any longer.
Would you say the same thing if it was your sister inside? Are you gonna tell her what you did to her friends?
Yes, Mara. Because that's my duty. Now you do yours.
Yeah, that is the duty.
We're almost out.
Don't say that, John. You ruined it for everyone.
What is that?
It's her.
You really have been honing that semblance of yours.
Let them go!
What did you do with the lamp?
Nothing.
It's missing. Where is it?
I didn't do anything with it.
Where is it? Look how you've diminished. How you've lessened yourself. And for what? These children? This ruined world? Why do you keep coming back?
Why do you? All of this endless death. Because something bad happened to you once upon a time? Nobody gets a fairy tale ending. Everything I've lost, every person I've lost, is because of you.
And who is it I've taken from you, girl?
Summer Rose. My mom.
Damn.
Her again?
Your Grace.
Ah, Hazel. I found our guests.
No!
This one was helping them. Take the boy back to his chamber. I have work to do with this one.
Yes, of course.
I think Hazel does have a soft spot for children. I like to think so. And that's why he's doing it. He's a sweetie at heart. But damn, this is just... You know, it's like weird because there's not as much to say about these episodes because it's all set up right now. And like, I'm fine with it all being set up. I just need more.
No more Gretchen's boy.
I really don't know.
Yeah! Sorry for everyone at home, but yeah!
Go! Now!
Hazel.
Go.
Not the heroic sacrifice of Hazel right now. Jesus, but I'm so with it.
So, you've decided against vengeance for your sister after all this time.
I'm doing what Gretchen would have done.
Yeah, get the hell out of here.
Come on, everyone, out! Wait, Oscar?
She'll just come after us.
Not the hard light shield. Yo, don't tell me John and Oscar's about a fucking tag team right now. John, don't you leave because I trust John.
Do it.
Can he cast time travel? What? Did he just cast time travel? Did he just travel through time? that had to have been traveling through time. The worst part is that I'm pretty sure this is like a great place for me to stop and then go through to the ending, but I... Damn it, 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 damn it. I don't have time! I do have time, but it's like... I'm very strict with self-deadlines. If I say I want something done by a certain time, I shouldn't say it needs to be done by that time because I'm not great with it. But when I get in a groove, I need to do what my groove is, or else I get very upset with myself. And that's what matters. Ultimatum. Ultimato. Anyway, I'll be right back with the next episode in less than a second. See you guys then. I'm a dummy. I didn't start midway through the episode like I should have. Dummy head. There we go. Not midway through, but here we are. We're back with chapter number 8. Ugh! Like he's busting.
Yep. Not getting much sleep here either. Sounds bad out there.
Wait, that doesn't sound like... Get down!
Oh, that was a really cool 2D animation effect. I actually love the way that they blend this 2D with 3D. And, like, yes, they draw the 2D on top, but it's a unique style. Like, this is genuinely a beautiful, unique style right here, what they're doing with the animation. Birds of a feather! Birds of a feather!
No need to worry, miss. You and your friend are going to be just fine.
She lost consciousness, and she's leaking.
Set her down, set her down.
They are doing a terrible job.
Can you help her?
Even based on what you've told me, I hardly know what she is. But her basic anatomy seems similar enough. I can at least stitch up that wound.
Does Penny have skin? Like, if you touch Penny, is it freezing or...
Oh, that's just rich.
Everyone okay back there? Just saw another bombing run light up the kingdom.
Looks like part of the city lost power. We're okay, though.
Sorry I couldn't stick around, but time's running out for everyone in the crater.
No, we're sorry. Once we know what's wrong with Penny, we'll do something.
Don't beat yourself up, kid. At this point, I don't know how much is left to be done.
Yeah, that's kind of the point of war. It's a horrible, horrible thing.
Too much.
Yeah.
The Grimm, the Crater, Nora, Penny. How do we fix all of it?
I can't wait for him to say that you don't fix all of it. To quote the Boondocks, what do you do when you have to do something, but there's nothing you could do? And then Granddad says probably the wisest thing ever: you do what you can. And I think that's a very beautiful sentiment. So when he comes out and he says you do what you can in the next sentence, which he probably will, it'll be interesting.
One step at a time, my dear. You can't worry about fixing everything. Simply focus on what's in front of you. If you'd like some place to start, I'd be able to work faster if you could bring the power back on.
Well, how would we...
We have a generator near the edge of the estate.
Hey, you're drunk.
So kind of you to join us, Mother.
Believe it or not, I am above drinking in the dark. Oh. Hello, Klein.
SDC executives have their own auxiliary power supplies in case of a citywide blackout. It's extremely unfair, but perhaps now isn't such a bad time for company perks.
We don't just have perks. We have the company. The people you mentioned in the crater. They need a way out, right? There are rows and rows of cargo ships just sitting in the hangars because of the embargo.
And our own automated drones, like the ones at Snowshoe Shipping.
We can order as many as we need to pilot our ships down to the crater and get people to safety while the Grimm are occupied with the General's forces.
I will say, this Whitley redemption arc, I am all for it, because again, it's not about the circumstances before, right? It's about what you choose to do right now, and what Whitley Cheney is choosing to do right now is something I can respect and get behind, because he deserves that. I genuinely don't think people understand, and when I say people, like, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm abrasive, I'm obnoxious, I am annoying. I know those things. I have known them since I was 4 years old. Because I've been called abrasive, obnoxious, annoying since I was 4 years old. Mostly by teachers. And that hurts a lot, to be a 5-year-old and 4-year-old to be told that you are annoying and you need to stop talking, and then you just don't. However, I genuinely believe just because someone is doing something wrong currently, that does not mean that they are forever irredeemable. They are forever evil. They are forever whatever. Because to hold that value is to simultaneously say that you, and I'm not talking about me, I'm talking about you have lied. You have done something you weren't supposed to do. You have done something that you find morally irreprehensible. And you think that you should be forgiven to some degree, because if you didn't, I don't know why you wouldn't. I think everyone thinks that they deserve forgiveness to a certain degree. But just because you forgive people for doing wrong, or just because you're holding them accountable at that moment, it does not mean that you now hate them forever. It does not mean anything like that. It just means that currently what they're doing is something you don't agree with, and then when they change, and you hope that they change, you're happy. You accept them back. It's a prodigal son. You let them in. You let them eat with you. You feast because they've returned. They're happy. They're somebody. I would love for Jimmy Ironwoods to come back, but there is no coming back for this without serving an insane amount of jail time and realizing what he did was wrong, because punishment needs to fit the crime. And what was the crime? Literally sacrificing everything because you thought that's what made you the hero, and that's disgusting. Whitley Cheney, they're not going to take Whitley from me. I know they won't. They probably will. They're sick at this writing studio. Those writers are sick, but they won't take this from me.
I can. I just need Father's computer.
Then we definitely need to get the power back on.
And we're going to show the SDC helping Faunus and taking care of people, which is going to change the public perception of Faunus, is what you would hope. Because the SDC and the top executives are going to take care of everyone. Now, if they did women, children, and Faunus first, I'd be so down for that.
It'll work.
It won't.
Nothing else has.
I know you don't always know what to do, but that's never stopped you from doing something. I was like that as a girl, but time and a lot of other things took their toll on me. And that I wasn't sure if that kind of girl could actually survive in the world. Until I met you. It was a little strange at first because you were younger, but I've always looked up to you, RWBY. And I still do.
Thanks, Blake.
Beautiful speech. I think this might be the only time Blake and RWBY have gotten a moment together, so I call cap. I call genuine cap on that. But, like, beautiful. Beautifully written, beautifully done. I call cap.
What?
What was that?
Miss.
RWBY! Blake! Weiss! There's a Grimm that... Look out!
Can you handle this?
Assuming you can handle that.
Oh my god, it's the dog. It's the dog. They're gonna take Penny.
We still need to work on your attitude.
Alright, we need these silver eyes to work right now. Ruby, you're...
What is this thing? It's just a Grim.
No, it ain't.
Just focus. RWBY!
Climb! There's a Grim here, and others might be nearby. Keep everyone together and call if there's trouble.
Of course. Madam, please try to calm yourself.
I can't do this. I can't do this.
Willow, please come back. Goodness, try not to...
No, not again! No!
It's not here for me! It's here for Penny! RWBY!
Help the others. I've got her.
Oh, come on! Everything is just going to hell and back. Like, there's just no winning. There's just no winning right now. It's gonna be okay, Penny.
You're okay. Please!
I don't want to do it!
Hey,
Can you stop?
no one's gonna make you do anything you don't want to do.
But there is a part of me. It's making me.
It's just a part of you. Don't forget about the rest.
Klein, it's coming inside. Stay quiet. I'm on my way.
Do hurry. Whitley and Willow have yet to return.
What? Where'd Mom go?
You know, Whitley, Willow. A lot of W names here, but I'm gonna be honest. Like, just Willow, you gotta. Come on now. Not the blood.
Above you!
Mom?
I can see it. It's outside Winter's old room. You can kill it, can't you?
What is it doing?
I'm not sure. It's acting strange. Why is it here?
It doesn't matter.
Just keep an eye on it so I can track it down.
Right.
Right. Okay. It's moving again, heading towards... Oh dear no.
I can do this. I can...
Whitley!
You are the last thing I need. All that's left should be...
That ain't... Oh, Nikes. I wouldn't look at it.
I know you're here.
Thank you.
Did she just use her semblance to protect him? Are you telling me that Willow's gonna have her redemption? Damn, Schnee family without Jacques is killing it right now. Jacques, it really shows you that if you cut the one toxic person out of your life, you start building back better, baby! You make yourself great again! I'm with it. I'm so with this. And that was Penny. There's no way that was Weiss. Okay, that was Weiss. I thought that was Penny.
I didn't forget you.
We're... great talk. We gotta fight.
Why do they get more disgusting? I don't know if you can hear me. But I need you, Ruby. We all need you.
Alright, that's some lame. I understand what they're doing there, but little lame. Dope idea, little lame. Oh my god! Good thing she got the haircut, right? Oh, they do not have a lot of order left. Now, if we did fights like this against the Aesops, I think it would have been a little bit better. It's going to be Crow. Oh, Ruby?
I could hear you.
It's coming! I'm sorry!
Damn it!
What are you doing?
I must open the vault. And then self-terminate.
That's enough.
Yes! Hey, we gotta put her a kill. Listen, I don't want to be a jerk, but is there a way to turn Penny off? I think she needs like a quick little factory reset. Where's her father in a time like this? Like, we need something here. Oh, Jesus.
Take the girl.
That is disgusting. You brought Adam back for this?
Take the girl.
No, Adam! Wait, that's not Adam, right? Yeah, there's no way that's Adam. Who the hell is that? Who could that be?
The girl. Take the girl. Take the girl. Take the girl.
That was great timing. So who was it? Who just died?
What was that?
It was a person.
Oh, they killed somebody. Dope. I was gonna say, if they brought Adam back for that, L. Tough L. But now it's just nobody. It was just a nobody. It was filthy junk traders.
You know, this may be the first time I've ever been happy to see you.
Cinder. What are you?
It's my turn to ask for something.
It's her!
Something tells me that when Penny gets to the vault, because she's going to wake up and go immediately to the vault, she's then going to self-terminate herself. Yeah, like, I think Jenny Ironwoods is going to screw himself. He sowed the seeds to his own demise, basically. Because he's a freaking idiot, which makes perfect sense from a writing standpoint, just because, like, that's what these characters tend to do. Your tyrant and egotists like that tend to just ruin it for themselves, so I'm with it. I'm with the story. I'm with the avant-garde. I'm with the idea. But, yeah. Beautiful sentiment. So it's a Faunus, but it's not Adam. Okay, good to know. Damn, I feel so bad for that little Faunus. They just did that to him. The Hound Human. That's what it was. Alright, so I'll be back in less than a second with the next episode. See you in a sec. Ooh, baby, I like it raw. Ooh, baby, I like it raw. Alright, we're on for the last episode for this video thing? Reaction? You know, I've made 117 videos so far, and I want to say that's an accomplishment. I think that's more content I've recorded in the last couple months than I have my entire life. So, respect. I've probably said more things on air than I have thoughts on my regular day-to-day life. That's crazy. And I share them, and the worst part is if I look back at some of my opinions from probably Volume 1, they'd be completely different now. I'd be like, nah, I disagree. And that's like the crazy thing. I might, who knows? It's crazy how life works like that.
Sir.
Good job not being on the front lines.
That Dr. Watts has escaped military headquarters with the assistance of Cinderfall.
We do have Jacques Schnee in custody.
I don't give a damn about Jacques Schnee. What about the other two?
Sir, Bronwyn and Hill have evaded capture. But we are monitoring every exit, so they must still be inside the compound.
We're moving you to another...
Damn it! Search everywhere for them. Do not return to this office until you have Crow Bronwyn in custody.
Of course, sir.
What's the status of our...
What did Oz just do? What the hell just happened? And how is Neo alive?
Is everyone all right?
No injuries here.
What?
They were still inside.
Target destroyed. Good work. But no time to celebrate. Return to the Academy at once. We've got a new problem.
But that wasn't us.
Then we can tell him in person. Load it back up. We're leaving.
That bomb's gonna be used somewhere, because there's no way you establish that bomb and then not use it. I don't know when or how it's used, but I'm just telling you it gets used.
Did anyone respond?
No.
Well, she'll come back. In the interim, we need a plan.
Plan? The plan hasn't changed. I'm going to rip the maiden power out of Penny Polendina, because you're going to bring her to me.
I beg your pardon?
You said in your message that you have control over Penny.
I said I had Penny under control, not that I could telekinetically force her to do whatever I want.
I wanted to bring the mic closer to me, my bad.
I implanted a virus in her, you dimwit. She's on a set path now. At least she should be. As much as I hate to admit it, there seems to be some part of her capable of resisting. Regardless, it's only a matter of time before her mechanical body succumbs to the virus. She'll open the vault, then she'll destroy herself, and our little Penny problem will be over.
What do you mean she'll destroy herself? How am I supposed to take her power if she's dead?
You know, it's impressive that you haven't realized this yet, but I don't work for you.
I will say Watts is kind of awesome for that. It's amazing how you haven't realized this, but I don't fluck with you. No one likes you. We all make fun of you behind your back. We all think that we think you're smelly and we think you fart too much. That's, you know, am I crude? Am I a child? Yes, I've always been crude and a child, but like it makes it so much funnier to me.
Please, you can't just threaten me like everyone else.
You think you're so clever, don't you, Arthur?
Salem sent you to bring me back.
Salem isn't here right now. But I think we can still come up with a plan while she's pulling herself together. First, I'm gonna watch you plummet to an unremarkable end. And then I'm going to burn a path directly to the vault, where I will wait to tear that magical puppet to pieces. And take what is mine.
Oh, of course you are! Because that's just what you do, isn't it? And how has that worked out for you? You stormed into Freya's room thinking you could take on Ironwood's top fighter and War Machine. But you couldn't. And that machine became the Winter Maiden. Oh, and let's not forget your deal with Raven Brownwind. Get all your enemies in one place so you'd have a shot at revenge. If only someone could have warned you against such a miserable idea. Oh, wait. I did. But you pushed ahead and you lost it when all you had to do was your job. You think you're entitled to everything just because you suffered, but suffering isn't enough. Can't just be strong, you have to be smart. Can't just be deserving, you have to be worthy. But
dude, I'm not gonna lie to you. This is gonna be the way that Watts goes out talking spit. I'm so down for it because, dude, this Watts dude, kind of a dog.
All you have ever been is a bloody migraine.
Damn right she has. Yeah, Cinder, just jump to your death. Please just... I don't want to say that, but... No, I don't care. Don't be nice to her now. She deserves to hear that.
Blake?
Yang, are you okay? Where are you?
Yeah, we're fine. Is everyone there all right?
We're alive. This'll help, though. Guys, they're okay.
What do we do about her?
Hazel?
I'm sending you a map. You're in the agricultural area. Just head to this access point to reach the Red Line subway tunnel. Then follow the route I've drawn for you.
Got it. We'll see you soon.
You can't be serious. You want us to work with her?
I'm just saying it makes the most sense. We're all enemies of Salem, including her. No.
I will say, I'm like almost positive Oscar's gone. Like, he has to be gone right now.
No, I'm with Blondie. You don't like me, I don't like you. So how about we just part ways and you never have to see me again?
You're not going anywhere. Not after everything you've done.
We can't let all of our actions stem from fear. If she could help us, I think we should consider it.
She is part of the reason I have this. I'm not going to just forgive her.
That's
Everything
fine.
that happened at Beacon, she lied to us, tricked us. She is dangerous.
You don't have to forgive her. You have every reason to feel that way. Just maybe give her a second chance. We've already gotten quite a bit of help today from someone we don't exactly trust right now.
Do you mean Ozpin? I had a feeling.
Wait,
Oz
what?
is back? I know how you feel, but he saved my life. And when we were tortured, he took it. So I wouldn't have to. He entrusted me with this, and the massive amount of power he had stored up in it. Kinetic energy that he spent lifetime after lifetime accumulating in the cane he built.
So, that's how you did that? Using all of the stored up power?
Not all, but most. We have to be careful with how we use the rest. He trusted my judgment, and it saved us. I want to reciprocate that trust. There's a lot to sort out, but...
Amen.
Oz really wants to help.
Thank you, Oscar.
Not the babies. Show me the children.
All of Atlas is down here.
I've seen what you can do, Emerald. However this fight ends, we could really use someone like you.
That's why they gave her the boob job, because she's a hero now.
It's about time. While we dealt a decisive blow to Salem today...
Actually, that wasn't our payload, sir. I brought it back with us.
Then who could have... But you still have it. This may be useful. Penny still hasn't come to the vault, meaning Watts was either incompetent or he betrayed us. At this point, we'll never know.
Yeah.
Cinderfall's attacked command and escaped with him. And that's not all we've lost.
Sir?
Crow and Robin have also escaped. Salem's creature was destroyed. But that doesn't mean we've stopped her. She will return, and she will throw everything she has at us until there is nothing left. And we are perilously close to that already. I need the Winter Maiden now. It's the only way Atlas can survive.
it's not the only way Atlas can survive. It's just the way that you think Atlas can survive. I mean, there's a lot of ways Atlas can survive. It's just you're just dumb and don't know what they are. That just kind of seems to be your MO, James. You think you're smart, but then you're not, you know? And like, here's the thing. That's my MO always, is that I think I'm smart and then I'm not, but like I at least I can admit that I'm not smart, right? You, for some reason, you're like, nah, this is the only way Atlas can survive. Like, homie, just stop being a tragic character. This ends with your death and it's sad.
Shni, bring me Ark, Ren, and Xiaolong.
What for, sir?
I had Crow in my hands, and I didn't do what needed to be done. I will not make that mistake again.
I know. I'm ashamed I didn't think of it earlier. Leveraging the lives of her friends, it's the only way to make Penny listen to reason.
Sir, I'm sorry, but we don't have them. Operative Shni let them go.
You... what?
Winter allowed them to go on board the creature to rescue their friend. And they never came back.
Now, do you maybe think that maybe they destroyed the Grimm? Is that the possibility here, that they were the ones that caused that somehow? Wouldn't that be a good net positive for you, you stupid idiot?
They were our last chance.
Now I have
nothing! Sir, we are detecting non-military ships on radar. Dozens of them.
Ships? Whose ships?
They appear to be Shni Dust Company freighters, sir. They're heading straight for Mantle.
Weiss. I see. They're trying to save Mantle. This has always been about Mantle, hasn't it? I need to make a call.
Kill Mantle.
Who is it?
I love
Someone
Neo.
survive?
Oh, beautiful. This is actually so beautiful. How much time is left? Damn it, damn it. This is the last thing we get to see.
I missed you too.
How the hell did they get on Atlas? How the hell did they get on Atlas? They didn't have a ship. They didn't have a way there. What? You see, this. Cute moment. This. More of this.
Where's Nora?
Oscar, you...
No, she's okay. I can...
Kids, the cargo ships you sent just made it, but they're not alone.
May? What are you talking about?
Oh my gods. Run! Everyone into the mine!
Why would he do this?
This is an emergency CCT broadcast.
What's going on? Those ships. They were going to save people. Why would...
I have always promised to defend this kingdom, its technology, its future, from those who would see it destroyed. Our enemy is crippled, but one individual still denies Atlas its salvation. The protector of Mantle. Penny, Wherever you and your friends are, I need you all to listen. I know how much Mantle means to you, so I'm going to give you a choice. You can bring yourself to Atlas Academy and do your duty. Help me save as much of Atlas as I can, and Mantle will be left to fend for itself. Or you can all watch as I destroy it. I have one bomb. That's all it will take. If there is no Mantle, then there is no reason for you not to work with me. Neither of us want it to come to that, but one of us is willing to do it.
If anyone tries anything other than what I've ordered, Mantle is gone.
You have 1 hour to respond.
That is disgusting.
I hope you live up to the title I gave you.
That is so disgusting. Like, they made him so evil. For what? Because he thinks it's right? Like, God, I hate people that think what... Like, everyone's going to think what they're doing is right to some degree, but, like... This is why I get behind the whole, like, there are certain ethics and there are certain morals that should be universal. And when people say that they're universal, I think what they don't understand is that laws of ethics and laws of the world, like gravity and stuff, are not the same. If we're going, like, if you believe that there is no free will, then this discussion just, you could probably skip to the end of the video. I'm sorry. Or if you want to hear it, please do. Like, I am open for criticism. I am open for all of that. But, like, if you fundamentally disagree with this, then you fundamentally disagree with this, and that's perfectly fine. You're allowed to disagree with me at all points. I am not ever going to sit here and think that I'm right. I'm just going to tell you my honest thoughts and opinions. I think there's an objective morality. I have no idea what it is. I can just tell you that it probably exists. You can look at laws of gravity, right? And you can look at laws of physics, or you can look at certain stuff and be like, these laws can't be broken because they are set in stone. I think ethics and laws of nature, if you believe in free will, then those laws can be taken advantage of and not followed if you choose not to follow them. And maybe I'm not logically consistent. That's perfectly fine. That's perfectly possible. And, like, I have to think more on it. But, like, the reason why I'm saying that is because if every single person watching this show can look at what General Ironwoods is going and say, nah, that's wrong. That's not okay. I personally think that dictates some type of objectivity to it. And if you're sitting there and going, no, he's right, he's trying to protect the most life, it's the same moral. It literally is the same moral. So everyone watching is competing for the same truth, but, like, fighting about what way to do it when both outcomes are perfectly reasonable. You can save all of Atlas, and you can save Mantle. You're choosing not to, though. Like, the problem right now is that we don't know what the time frame is. We're shown Salem right there, right then, right how. So there's no time left. But the point being is that there is time left. No one is just going to say that there is, though. So, like, that's the thought process. That's where people aren't getting their heads around. And, like, at first I could be with it, kind of. Other times, though, it's really difficult to, like, this is probably a famous person's quote. I think it's really difficult to be the moral person in a room full of people telling you that, you know, murder is good and thievery is fine. It's hard to be the person to say no to people that want to do the things they want to do. And, it's very interesting because in media, we portray, like, the demonic or the devil or whatever as saying, do as you please, where the historically within storytelling, the holy says, do what is right. The demonic say, do what you please. And it's fascinating, that distinction, because it's the little lies that are the most insidious, right? Do as you please. Well, I'm a good person. I would like to do a lot of things. Well, that person has something that I want, but they won't give it to me. I'm just gonna take it because I should do as I please. Like it's fascinating how like that one line completely skews everything into a gray area. Jimmy Ironwoods is doing as he pleases, where Ruby and the gang are doing what is right, and it's like it's fascinating to like go into it. And the problem is that like this is a reaction channel. You clicked here to watch my reaction to this show, so I can't really do the proper breakdown of the demonic and storytelling, why demons always work based off of contract law, why you have to allow them into your life, and how that like typically represents like within the real world when like there is a certain level of like that element with evil. Like you allow evil to exist, same way like the demonic, you have to allow it into you for it to possess you. Now in the storytelling, it'll go into it by like lying to you, by tricking you, by doing something that is genuinely what you want, by pretending to be the voice of a loved one so that way it can possess you. Like, I sound like a crackpot insane. I'm not saying this is the real world. I'm saying that this is storytelling. And the beautiful thing about storytelling is that it mimics the real world. Demons could exist, they could not exist. I don't know. Why the hell would I know? I can just tell you that if they do exist, these are the rules that have been laid out throughout the course of human storytelling. And if those rules have been laid out, the only thing that I personally find very... I've been writing a book about an exorcist, and I've been working on like the outline of it. And like the idea I wanted to do... I've been reading a lot about Kabbalism and Kabbalistic practice towards exorcisms, and their belief is that you have this ultimate being in the spiritual realm, and then all the lesser beings, and the ultimate being is the god, and the lesser beings are just kind of lesser demons. But that's where your Thors exist. That's where your Norse, your Roman. They're just lesser demons to the ultimate one above all, basically. And it's like this weird blend, but the cool thing about it is it's like called the Exorcist Handbook. It's like what I'm using as like a reference source for it. It goes into a lot of the different principles and a lot of different cultures of how demons work, and like the only thing that I thought was fascinating was it was talking about the Song of Solomon. If you don't know that, it's a much older not demonic book, but like demon book, where it says if you know the demon's name, you have control over it. And like they go into it and they're like, that's just actually nonsense. That's a lot of nonsense. And it's like I doing that, I read an entire piece on it's from Gabriel something. He was the Catholics' #1 exorcist. He's the guy I'm quoted saying that the devil lives in the Vatican currently, and that was during Pope Benedict XVI. That it was alive and well in the Vatican. And like there's all of this like different interesting historic and like cool stuff with just deals with the devil, deals with the demonic, like, and those principles have always stayed true. So it's kind of, we're talking about a show where fairy tales exist, so like I could at least tell you that the universality of the truth within those fairy tales, within storytelling in general, I don't know what it is. I am not smart enough to sit here and break down and tell you every single thematic purpose, because I have not spent as much time studying RWBY. I have been binge watching it because I love reacting to it, and I think it makes me a better storyteller to break down, react, and actually think about how the art works. So that's what this does for me. That's the benefit I get from being a reactor. because I want to be a writer. I shouldn't say I want to. I'm a writer. I'm a content creator. I'm a lot of things. I'm a kid in fucking therapy. I'm a no-name dumbass from the middle of bumfuck PA. That's what I am. But, like, this is beautiful. This is art. This is a beautiful thing that gets to exist. The next question isn't, okay, now that it exists, what now? The next question is, okay, it exists, so where do we go next? And, like, I know it started with me talking about ethics and me talking about, universal truths and, like, all this stuff. And, like, you may not believe that. You are more than welcome to not agree with me. I say this every single time. I actually encourage you to not agree with me. I encourage you to find the opposite of what I'm saying. Because I should not be the person you take, take me at face value, listen to what I say, don't stop there. JG? I forget his name. Charleston, the British dude Charleston during the, 20th century was saying something along the lines of, like, your mind should be like your mouth, where during conversation it should open and absorb the information, but by the end of it, it should close. Like, you should have a closed mind by the end of the conversation, and it should be chewing on a concrete idea. And if I'm able to at least get a new idea into your head that you can go out and think about, that's commentary. That's what that is. I hope I can do that. If not, it's totally chill. We're chilling. But either way, this show, it gives me everything that I need out of a good story, and that's what makes me so happy about watching it. Yeah, there's moments where I can go, all right, that's not that great, or all right, I think that could have been done better. But that's, like, there's a difference between me just saying that to say that because it's fun to say it, and me saying that because I am a writer and I genuinely believe there was a different way to do it. And when I say those things, that's not me just being a critic to be a critic. It's me in my head being like, okay, how would I have done this differently? I don't tell you how I would do it differently, because at the end of the day, you don't care. I am not Steven Spielberg to you. I am nobody to you. Maybe one day my name can be with those people, but it probably never will, and that's okay. But when I start doing that, maybe, right? Maybe that's the prayer. That's the hope. That's what I want. If Misfits Heroes for Hire, my television superhero thing about small business, comes out tomorrow, I hope you'll watch it. I hope you see the 30-second opening and you go, wow, I really want to see what else this person can do. I hope if The Death of Josh Carpenter comes out, you look at that and you go, damn, this is insightful. Thank you. I would love to watch this. But we're not there. You're here to watch me watch other people, and that's what it is right now. And if I end up producing those things, and if you end up wanting to watch them, thank you. If not, I'm just happy you're here and along for the ride with me as I experience the phenomenal piece and legacy that's Monty Ohms. Like, that's it. Like, this is just his legacy, and he's an amazing creator. But either way, these are just my thoughts. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said, these are just my thoughts, and if you don't mind, just like, comment, share, subscribe, all that jazz. And at the end of it, I hope you have a good one. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace out, and bless up.